My beautiful friends, let's do a reading. So I'm picking up on some energy. You may be feeling tired. You may be feeling exhausted. Maybe you are, I was hearing it, maybe you're sick of being on the journey. So I felt really called to come do a reading. And I can usually tell by the decks I choose what collectives I'm channeling. And I do feel like I'm channeling a collective that could be questioning their journey, especially if you aren't seeing any movement in the 3D. It triggers your ego, right? So we're going to see what comes out, but I felt really called. When I was meditating this morning, I was thinking about the 3D, the 4D, and the 5D. And last year, I read a book in my Soul Tribe readings. I read a book, it's called The Inner Work. I read the entire thing with my Soul Tribe. That's actually in my Soul Tribe playlist. But there is a theme of consciousness graphic. I don't know. What's the right term? I don't know. Graphic illustration that explains the different themes of consciousness. And the energy that I'm picking up on right now is someone who is very rooted in the 3D right now. So I took a picture of this, which I'm gonna add right after this so that you can see it, but I'll do that first and then I'll explain it to you. Hopefully I remembered to add it in editing. So we have, it's this. Hopefully I remembered to add it. So when you are in the 3D, right? Themes of wounding, it's when you are still in that 3D mindset, you're acting from a place of ego. That's your ego. And we have insecurity, violation, inadequacy, distrust, loss, overwhelm, judgment, rejection. So those are all themes of wounding, and that is the 3D reality, self is body, suffering. When you ascend, when you transition into self-honesty, self-awareness, self-acceptance, 4D reality, self is mind, it brings relief, self-empowered mentality. And when you are in the 4D level of consciousness, we have understanding, acceptance, self-motivation, ease, and accountability. And you'll notice when you're in that 4D consciousness, right? Although, healing is an up and down journey. I'm not saying you're never going to dip back down into that 3D consciousness and feel overwhelmed and things like that. But when you're feeling the 3D things that I read, the insecurity, violation, inadequacy, remind yourself that that's your programmed self, right? That's the part of you that's been programmed since childhood. And then when you evolve into the 5D level of consciousness, 5D reality, self as spirit, ecstasy, unity mentality, freedom and happiness, love and inner peace. And I saw a beautiful thing today that said, you have to choose inner peace, right? You have to choose it. You have to choose it every day. Easier said than done, I know. But I wanted to explain these because I also saw something. I went down a rabbit hole this morning and I saw something about this journey that really stuck out to me that I wanted to mention to you. As long as you want union with your person, that union won't come, right? As long as you're searching for that completion outside of you, it'll never come because you're not embodying it yourself. Anyway, the collective that I'm channeling today, I could tell by the deck that I chose that you could be very grounded in the 3D. Not grounded, rooted in outdated beliefs and programming, those things we talked about. People who are in that energy tend to judge others. I make adjustments to my routine that enhance my peace and vitality. There you go. Anyway, and it's not to make you feel like you're not doing a good enough job or you're not doing enough, but what we're realizing is that by searching for that love and unity and acceptance outside of us, we can become stuck for years. And that's what we don't want. We don't want to be stuck for years anymore, right? And it's all, you have to go through that. These are layers that you have to shed, right? So every part of the journey serves a purpose. The journey where you're feeling, the part of the journey where you know, go through your first awakening, the parts where you feel like you're in longing, the parts where you're seeking outside for validation, the parts where you're overwhelmed and tired. All those aspects of the 3D you need to go through, right? They serve a purpose, but you're not meant to stay stuck in them. You're meant to shed those layers and ascend. You're meant to shed those layers and ascend. So let's look at your current energy, and we're going to see, I have a few decks. We're going to see what advice you need today. So let's see where you are first. I'm going to shuffle these once. We have outdated beliefs on the bottom, right? So outdated beliefs, you know, those are the things that are programmed into us, like the whole you need someone else, like you need to, how can I explain this? It's programmed into us at a very early age that, you know, we see it in the school system. We have to listen, we have to obey. We're kind of, we're on this path, at least I know I was, where it was like, you have to finish school, then you have to go to college, then you have to get a career, then you have to get married, then you have to have kids. We've been taught that happiness is outside of us when that's not actually true. It's within us. Outdated beliefs could be some of those, like outdated beliefs that, oh, I'm just not lovable, or outdated beliefs that if you, hang on. I'm hitting a block there, so I'm going to see what comes out. I'm hitting a block there for a reason from Spirit. All right. So let's see your current energy, right? I'm really feeling a collective that could be kind of stuck in ego in the 3D. So we'll see what comes out. We have scared. Have I lost you? Is it too late? That's what I mean. So you could be feeling scared right now that you've lost this person forever. And that's your fear. That's your ego. That's that loss that I was talking about, right? When we move into acceptance, we know we never lose anything that's meant for us. If it's meant for us, it'll come back around. But insecurity, so you could be feeling insecure that you've lost this person. It says loss, overwhelm, feeling rejected, right? And that's kind of what I mean by outdated beliefs. We're programmed to believe that if somebody rejects us, it's because something's wrong with us. So let's get into it. So you could be feeling scared that you've lost this person. And remember what I said that I came across this morning. I came across something that said, as long as you are searching and wanting and waiting for union with your person, it's not going to come, because you have to find that within self. All right, so let's get into it. I'm seeing Gandalf in my mind when he says, I'm not trying to hurt you, I'm trying to help you. That's all this is. We have repel, energetically pushing away. Interesting. We have forbidden fruit. So, it feels like whoever I'm channeling, you are ready. you are ready to have this person in your life, right? But it's like you can't, with this forbidden fruit, I'm going to get a card to clarify, but it feels to me like that's what you're focused on right now. You're focused on the loss of this person. You're focused on getting this person back. And it's actually repelling the energy. It's reminding me of another video that I watched. Very wise person. I should probably remember his name because I love him. He says that the more we want something, the more we crave something, the more we repel it. And the less we want it, the more we attract it. And we're not talking about energetic games here, but it feels like, again, you're feeling like you lost this person, and it's like the more you want it, the more you energetically repel it, because, again, you're searching for something outside of you. Okay, let's go, because we have ready on the bottom. So you're just, that's what I mean. It's like you're losing patience. You're like, I'm just ready for union already, right? And you're actually repelling it. And again, this is not, I can tell I'm channeling someone who's kind of stuck in that 3D mindset, because every time I say something, I can feel resistance. I can feel resistance. So we have bored, right? Bored with the journey, and we have independence. So you're standing in your independence here, right? You're focusing on self, but we have bored, same shit, different day. So perhaps you've hit a roadblock in your ascension. Perhaps you've hit a roadblock in your ascension, because I'm hearing What About Bob, where he's like, I'm doing the work, I'm baby stepping, gimme, 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 I need. And again, none of this is to make you feel like you're not doing enough. It's meant to bring you clarity. But here we have you standing in your independence, right? Focusing on self. But to me, it feels like you have hit a block here, because this board, same shit, different day. So perhaps nothing is changing. Perhaps you don't find yourself evolving. Perhaps you're stuck in outdated beliefs. Perhaps you're stuck in fear. Perhaps your ego is telling you, like, if this, I don't know what your ego is telling you, but I'm feeling very strong ego here, like that 3D energy that I was talking about, right? Insecure, violation, inadequacy, distrust, loss, overwhelm, judgment, rejection. So if you are bored because it's just the same shit, different day, that's showing you, right, that something needs to change. And we'll confirm all these. I'm going to get one more, but that board card is your middle row. So maybe you feel stuck in a rut right now. Again, maybe you've plateaued in your growth in this journey right now. Oh, okay. So yeah, we have, I put you on a pedestal and focused. I put you on a pedestal and we have focused. So you are focused on this person, right? You're focused on when are they coming back. Perhaps you have just been, and I'm not saying this to put you down, but perhaps you've embraced independence just to get this person back. But it's not about getting this person back. This journey is about you. And Spirit's saying, right, you're bored, you're focused on this person, you've put them on a pedestal, and something needs to change here. That goal card came out in my hand. Yeah, you have like your mine. So you're very focused on this person that you feel nobody else will compare to. Which again, that's your ego talking. How do you know nobody else would compare to this person? You've put them on a pedestal, so you've kind of made them this golden apple or this magical unicorn, right? Your perception, that nobody else will ever compare. And that goal card came out in my hand, it didn't come out. So I feel like if you are bored, same shit, different day, you're just going through the motions, still thinking about this person, right? Again, you're actually energetically repelling it. And Spirit wants you to start focusing on you, your goals, your purpose, your healing, your inner peace, right? All right, I'm just gonna confirm these. Repel, not good enough, no, not good enough, low self-worth. Grounded in the 3D, right? That's, or not, how can I put that? Not grounded in the 3D, kind of trapped in the 3D, right? So you feel like you have this person on a pedestal. And I always say, like, I always wanted to be put up on a pedestal. And then when I was, it wasn't good. Because when you put somebody up on a pedestal, when you put someone up on a pedestal, it kind of puts you in the energy that you're never going to be good enough, right? And that's what I'm seeing. Not good enough, low self-worth. And it feels like you're spending a lot of time thinking about this person. Like, do they think of me too? Do they smell me too? Do they feel this way, right? You're really focused on this person that you've kind of put up here. And this not good enough energy, low self-worth, you're actually repelling good things from coming towards you. And again, every time I'm saying these things, I can hear this 3D thing, right? The victim, suffering victim. And every time I say something like that, I can feel it. I can feel the energy of, she's telling me I'm not good enough and I'm pushing good things away. It's, if you really don't feel good enough, right? You're calling in low vibrational energy. I said it in a reading the other day. When you continue to accept energy that is not good, when people, when you attract in energy where people take advantage of you, or you find yourself overgiving or feeling neglected, right? It's because subconsciously you don't feel like you deserve better. So because you have this low self-worth, or you don't feel good enough, you're actually repelling good things from coming towards you. We also have your scent, pheromones. And are you feeling this too? So maybe you smell this person and you're wondering if they smell you too. All right, forbidden fruit. Forbidden fruit. Denial. Irreplaceable. That's what I mean. It's like you've put this person up on a pedestal, and it's the only thing you want. It's like you're very focused on it. If I could just have that person, if I could just get them to choose me, right? It's your soul. Your soul wants you to choose yourself. You've made them irreplaceable in your mind. And I get it. But it's a reflection. It truly is a reflection. Spirit's blocking me again. Because your ego has made it so that this person is up on a pedestal. This is the only person I want, right? I'm not interested in anyone else. Again, I feel like it's causing a block here, right? Because we talk about inner peace, we talk about acceptance, 4D acceptance. This person is not the be-all and end-all. You are the prize. And this journey is meant to make you realize that, and also to make you realize that you're irreplaceable. And we have denial. So you could be in denial about this. Let's keep going. Bored, same, different day. I want more, right? You want more for your life, so you're stuck in a rut here. We have regret and confidence, conflicting energy. So you want more for your life than just, again, the energy that I'm getting is that you are focused on self, you're trying to be independent, but you want more for your life than what's happening right now, right? You feel stuck in a rut if this is your reading, and Spirit's saying there is more available to you, but you have to get out of that 3D mindset that this is the only person for me, and the mindset of, you know, I'm hearing it, so I'm going to say it. We have optimistic here. Clearly, whatever's happening for you right now, if you feel stuck in a rut and you're bored with your life, Spirit's saying something needs to change, right? And if you are really focused on this person and that's all you're really, if you feel like, oh, if I could just get that person back, or if they would just choose me, then I would be happy. Again, that's how we're programmed. If I could just pay off my debt, then I'll be happy. If I just get married, then I'll be happy. If this person chooses me, then I'll be happy. If I get my dream job, then I'll be happy. If I get a house, then I'll be happy. It's looking for happiness outside of ourselves. It's seeking it externally. So you're bored. Again, if you feel like you're stuck in a rut, it means there's a layer that you have to break through, right? And right now it feels like the layer you need to break through is low self-worth, and also feeling like this person is the only person that's going to make you feel complete. Right? That whole line in Jerry Maguire, you complete me. No, we complete ourselves. And then we call in energy that complements us, right? Independent. Tears. Lack mentality, exactly. Lack mentality. So this is what I mean. It's like you're standing in your independence. You're probably not reaching out to this person, so you feel like I'm not chasing, but then you're still dealing with the overwhelm, the feelings of loss, the feelings of rejection, the feelings of not feeling good enough. Lack mentality. Maybe you are absorbing things online that are causing lack mentality. Right? You could be in this independent energy, feeling like, well, I'm in glow up energy. I'm independent. I'm choosing self. So where is my person? Where is my person? Where are my blessings? Where's my abundance? And you could be watching things that are telling you, if you just do this, then they'll come back. Or maybe even feeling competitive with other people online. Lack mentality is blocking the flow here. So what are you having lack mentality about, right? Maybe even being independent. I see it all the time when I mention independence. People will say, I'm okay being alone, but I don't think it's harmful for me to hope for love in my life. And it's not. My daughter is just sending me all these messages right now. Do you know what my daughter said to me in the kitchen today? She's about to turn 12. And she said, I really enjoyed looking at you. apparently because I make faces. We have tears, emotional pain, crying over them, right? So you are trying to stand in your independence, but there's still this energy of loss. There's still this energy of overwhelm, missing them, focused on them, right? And again, the more you want something, the more you're repelling it here. It's the same as when we talk about the chasing, right? The more we chase after something, we repel it energetically. And this lack mentality, again, that's your ego. I'll never get that, or I'll never be good enough for that, or I could never do that. And what if this is, that lack mentality? It's programmed into us, right? I wonder if there's a lack mindset wound in this shadow book. Let's look. Lack. I really do. She printed a new copy of this. I need to buy it because it has I'm just gonna pause it. All right, I couldn't find it in the book, so I just looked it up. But lack mentality or scarcity mindset, and you could also be when you are around people, right? Distorted energy feeds distorted energy. So when you're in that 3D energy, ego, victim mindset, you would be attracting in people in the same energy. And as you ascend into different levels of consciousness, right, you stop aligning with people that are at a lower vibration. So you could be around people that have lack mentality. But a lack mentality or scarcity mindset is a fear-based belief that there is never enough time, money, love, or success. This psychological trap forces the brain into hyper-focus on limitations, causing anxiety, hoarding, and a tendency to view life as a zero-sum game where another person's win is your loss. The good news is you can rewire your thinking. The transition from a mindset of deficiency to one of abundance. So identify your triggers. Pay attention to the internal dialogue. When you find yourself thinking, there's not enough time, this person will never come back, write these thoughts down and evaluate if they are absolute facts or just habitual feelings. Practice daily gratitude. Actively acknowledge what you currently have. Simple daily exercises like journaling about the things you appreciate help shift your focus from what is absent to what is present, right? So instead of focusing, I am getting better at calming down, and it's 1, 2, 3. 5, 5, 5 on the timer, positive change. So instead of focusing on, I don't have this person hasn't come back yet, I don't have enough money, those type of things, focus on the things that are presently in your life that you can show gratitude for. Celebrate others. Counteract competitive energy by genuinely celebrating successes of peers and friends. This reinforces the belief that there are plenty of wins to go around. So you could even find yourself feeling like when you see someone else succeeding, you could feel envious, right? Or when we feel envious or jealous of someone, sometimes it comes out as judgment. Audit your circles. Distance yourself from scarcity-based thinking by surrounding yourself with supportive, positive people who foster a collaborative and open worldview, right? But if you are stuck in that lack mindset, that scarcity mindset, how can you call in people who are... You're going to keep calling in people who are in the same type of energy, right? Because again, we have this energy of repelling. It'll make sense to the person who needs this message. And we have faith. And it's good to have faith, right? Trusting that what is meant for you will not pass you by. Trusting that you can pull yourself out of this 3D, fear-based, limitation thinking. Anyway. And focused. Focused. One more. Focused. And Spirit closed the deck. There you go. So we have foolish. So you could be focused on beating yourself up for being foolish, or you could be focused on blaming this person that you're connected to for being foolish, right? And again, these are all things we have to go through this energy to shed those layers and ascend, right? To break through to the next level of consciousness. I hope you're not, like, it feels like you're being hard on yourself, right? Like, I'm foolish for wasting so much time and energy, or I was foolish for not seeing the red flags, or whatever you're feeling foolish about. Interesting. We have deserve better. And stay out of my business. Right? What I'm seeing here is I'm seeing anger towards this person. Like, you're focused on them. You're bored with life. You're still thinking about this person. Right? You have a lack mentality about them. Hang on. What I'm seeing here, I was just reflecting while my dogs were freaking out. You're about to break through a layer. You're about to break through a layer. And right before we break through that layer, or a layer, we can really feel triggered, right? Because what I'm seeing here is that there's a lot of like inconsistent energy here. There's a lot of like self-doubt. There's a lot of lack of self-worth. There's scarcity mindset, feeling like this person is irreplaceable, putting them up on a pedestal, feeling like, you know, you'll never feel like anyone that way again. And then we get to this, oh, where did that come from? Where did that card come from? That was weird. I don't even, those weren't, where did that card come from even? I don't know. Anyway, then this last row, right, we had you're focused on them, and we have you focusing on them, but at the same time being super hard on yourself, like feeling foolish because how did you not see that you deserved better than you were receiving in this connection? But we also have stay out of my business. So there's a little bit of like anger towards this person as well. So that's what I mean. It's like it's a lot of emotions happening here. There's exactly what I was talking about in that part. Exactly what I was talking about in that part. That's not the right book. And to me, that means that you're about to break through this layer because we have to experience to shed it. So there's no shame in feeling all of these things, right? Like, I understand, like, I don't want to say I understand how you're feeling, but this is exactly it. It's like you're feeling insecurity, violation, inadequacy, distrust, loss, overwhelm, judgment, rejection. That's what I'm picking up in this reading. It's like very... Perhaps this person that you called in had inconsistent energy or mixed emotions, because that's what I'm feeling here. I'm feeling like, kind of like when Rapunzel comes out of the tower, right? It's like, again, you want this person, but you're mad at this person, being hard on yourself. It feels like you're about to break through a layer here. And then I don't know where this card came from, but we have goals. So... instead of focusing, right, on how foolish you were and focused on, like, stay out of my business, like that's your energy towards this person, but you want them back. Spirit wants you to start focusing on your goals, start focusing on self, right? I should just bookmark the dang thing. Right? Transition into self-honesty. So when we get stuck in that, it's them. When we get stuck in the blame, when we get stuck in, why did this happen to me? And I was foolish for allowing it. I'm seeing the soulmate card, the penguin soulmate card. It's not, why did they do this to me? It's, what is it trying to teach me about myself? Right? So that I can heal that part of me, so that I don't continue to call in those patterns anymore. Understanding, acceptance, self-motivation, ease, accountability, right? It's important that we take accountability for also the energy that we found ourselves putting up with, because we had the power, right, to protect ourselves. We had the power to put up boundaries. We had the power to walk away. But because of outdated beliefs and conditioning and our shadows, we got stuck, right? So right now you're stuck in a rut and you're going through these up and downs, right? I've already explained it. It's because your spirit wants you to break through this layer of going back and forth between being hard on yourself and missing this person and feeling like no one will compare and having a lack mindset, but then trying to have faith, right? It's like sending mixed signals out of you, right? You're giving your energy is giving mixed signals. And again, middle row, right? You feel bored in your life right now. It's because when we become bored and stagnant and feel like we're stuck in a rut, it's because we need to change something or we need to grow. So I want to use this deck to just confirm, and I'm hoping Spirit will give us some advice on, well, I'm going to ask Spirit for advice for you, but let's get this deck. I'm just going to shuffle it once. All right. My shirt is red, but for some reason it looks like a rust orange color on the camera. All right, let's cut the deck. We have you inspire me. So who inspires you? Not this person. Who inspires you? Right? And if you're truly on this journey is meant to help inspire you to evolve and grow. So who inspires you right now, right? Like I was talking about that person that is he into Buddhism? I don't know his name. But there's definitely something about him that inspires me. So who's inspiring you right now? You're inspired by people for a reason. It's because something within you recognizes what they're doing, right? Because that is within you, right? What we judge in others is a reflection of what we need to work on. What we admire in others is a reflection of what we are capable of. I was having this conversation with my daughter this morning because she had difficulty with a friend last year, and I was trying to explain to her that how projection works and how it wasn't a reflection of my daughter, it was a reflection of something that needed to heal within her friend anyway. And I explained how there are people that I have come across, Bree included, that their light, their authenticity triggered me because I was lacking it within. Anyway, so let's see. We have Earth, the physical 3D. So that's what I mean. It's like your soul is trying to ascend out of this 3D, out of the matrix I'm hearing, right? Oh, that wants to come out. After winter must come spring. Change. It comes eventually. Lauryn Hill. We have Aries, so you could be an Aries, or you could be connected to an Aries. But we have Earth, the physical 3D, right? And that's what I mean. I'm picking up on this energy. Whoever you are, you're very much stuck in 3D consciousness. And we have intuitive feelings, clairsentience. So regarding self or others, intuitive feelings regarding self or others. But when you are stuck in the 3D consciousness, you're actually acting from ego and fear. So you can't hear your intuition. You can't tap into these intuitive abilities. So there's a need to really evolve out of that energy that I was talking about into self-acceptance and reflection. And oh gosh, I should just tattoo it on my hand or something. Understanding why this connection came into your life, what it's meant to teach you, being more understanding with yourself and others, self-empowered mentality, right? Self-empowered. Acceptance that everything we were talking about. Self-motivation. So motivating yourself. I'm hearing masculine energy. Working on your masculine energy. Motivating yourself, not waiting for something to happen in your life to motivate you. And accountability, right? Taking accountability for maybe some of the red flags you did overlook, or taking accountability for, yeah, maybe I am stuck in lack mindset. Maybe I need to work on that. Maybe I do still think about them too much, right? Taking accountability. When you're stuck in that 3D consciousness, the victim, you're so full of overwhelm, loss, fear, judgment, rejection, there's no way you'd be able to hear your intuition. And I know we do have dark night of the soul. Maybe you're going through a dark night of the soul, experiencing a deeply painful and confusing period in life. And that's kind of what I'm feeling. Like, I'm feeling a lot of ups and downs with how you're feeling. And again, when you go through a dark night of the soul, you start to realize, right, the limiting beliefs. You start to realize how we've been programmed. Oh my gosh. All right, like I was saying, where was I? Dark night of the soul. So you would be, this is where you start to realize, right, the truth. I'm seeing the matrix. Anyway, we underneath this repel, we have, because you're stuck in that 3D consciousness, we have claircognizance, the ability to know something without knowing how you know it. So there's no way you would believe in your claircognizant ability, right? You probably wouldn't even be able to connect with it. And we have Mars in reverse. No motivation, sluggish, frustration. Right? When I'm getting the energy that you feel stuck, right? Nothing's happening, which means, again, it's time to break through this layer. We have inevitable, avoided change, and it happened anyway, right? So perhaps you were avoiding being in separation with this person. Perhaps you've been avoiding doing the work. Again, anybody on this journey who is not doing the shadow work, is not learning the lessons, is not doing inner child healing, is not ascending, is not working towards their purpose, and is staying stuck, that you're going to stay stuck, right? It's up to us, masculine energy, to take action towards these things, right? All right, I want to see board. And from what I'm seeing, you have clairsentience and claircognizance abilities. But right now you're repelling those energetically. You're not able to tap into them because of your fear-based ego 3D consciousness. I hope I'm making sense. Oh my goodness. Bored and wanting more. If you're bored and wanting more, that's your soul saying, this isn't what you're supposed to be doing right now, right? Bored and wanting more. You want good news. So you're still waiting for good news outside of you, right? You're still waiting for external validation. Wanting more, you want news, you want communication from this person. We have nosy. Excessively curious about them, right? You're like, again, you could be watching them online. That's energetic chasing. You could be wanting to know what's going on with them. You could be wanting to watch readings. Somebody said it yesterday. There was a purpose to the readings I did where I tapped into their energy, but what I'm realizing now that I'm going through a different ascension and I'm seeing through the veil, that in fact, by seeing what they're up to, by doing readings and checking their energy, you're energetically chasing, and I'm enabling you to energetically chase, right? And you could heal and ascend much quicker by not, like, take your focus off of them, right? If you are super focused on them in the 3D, it means your soul is calling for attention. And it's going to keep you stuck the more you focus on them, the more you look them up, the more you ask, like if you have people who know them, the more you ask about what they're up to. Are they unhappy? Are they missing me? It is energetic chasing. And I know that I'm triggering ego when I'm saying that. I'm triggering defensiveness. I can feel it. And it doesn't actually, I know it feels like it helps because it almost like it soothes you in a way, right? To know if this person is missing you or to know what they're doing. It may feel like it's soothing you, right? Because it makes you feel better. It validates you. But that's just feeding your distorted energy because you don't need that validation. Your validation should be coming within, right? And if you don't feel good enough and you're thinking about this person, it's not going to help you. It's just not going to help you. I know that it makes your ego feel at peace. That's essentially what's happening. We're feeding the ego, right? We're validating the ego. And the more we do that, the bigger the ego gets. I am grateful for the constant flow of money through my life. Maybe you have a scarcity mindset about money. We also have Claire, I don't know how to say that. Claire Aliens? Claire Aliens? Claire Aliens? Clear smelling of something that isn't there. This is what I mean. It's like, how can you tap into your gifts when you're so stuck in that 3D, in that victim mindset, wanting that validation about them when it's a call to focus on yourself. Again, I know for some people it feels like it soothes their nervous system to know that this person might be coming back or might be reaching out. But it's not soothing your nervous system. It's not giving you inner peace. You're confusing that with a soothe, like validating the ego. It's different. It's different. One more for that one. Craving, like you're craving them. You're craving them. You're getting bored with your life. You're craving them, which means there's something missing in your life. We have come clean. So you could be thinking about, you could be very focused on maybe coming clean to them, about maybe you feel like if you just say it one more time, they'll actually hear you. Stop over explaining yourself. But it's like you want more. You want good news. You want them to come clean, that they want something real with you. And again, that's you seeking that outside of yourself. I hope I'm making sense. All right. Independent. 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 Unlearning. Exactly. It's funny, when I started homeschooling my kids, I found a community that was about unschooling, and it was about teaching your kids, it was about unschooling your kids to everything they had learned in the public system, right? So right now, this is, lack mentality is programmed into us, right? You're meant to be unlearning these things, right? You're meant to be unlearning that lack mindset. You're meant to be learning about why is this causing you emotional pain? What within you needs to be looked at and healed and loved and held? What is it about, like, what are you searching for outside of yourself? Anyway, we have sleepless nights, right? 1 a.m. So you're even losing sleep over it. And we have the moon. So fears, illusions, shadows. I feel like your shadows are calling for attention here. Right? It feels like there's lessons here that you need to be learning about the shadows that have been triggered, the wounds that have been triggered within you from this connection. And again, a lot of people hear about this journey and they think it's just about a romantic connection, two people coming together, and it's not. It's about you, right? You're the prize, you're the cake. They're just a bonus. And without truly doing healing and shadow work and evolving to a higher level of consciousness, right? People will say, I feel a 5D connection with them, but they're still stuck in the 3D. All right, focused. Focused. We have Sagittarius energy. So you could be very, like, thinking about someone who is non-committal. You could be feeling impatient, right? That's what I'm seeing here. When spirit is clearly saying to focus on what inspires you, what lights you up. I talk about this all the time. When we're focused on something that inspires us, that lights our soul up, we lose sense of time. What's the top card? My heart belongs to you, right? So again, there's a lot of mixed energy in this last row of impatience and anger and resentment and blame and protectiveness and love and missing them and loss. Pay attention to who you're inspired by right now, because remember what I said, what you admire in others is something that is within you that hasn't been tapped into yet. So who are you feeling inspired to right now? Right? One more for that one. We have, this is the real deal. But then we have true colors. This is what I mean. It's like it's reminding me of, it's like, we talk about yin and yang energy a lot, right? We talk about bringing opposites into balance. And in this last row, there's something out of balance here, right? It's very distorted because it's like, this person is the real deal and you're focused on them and you want them to come back, but at the same time, you feel like you've seen their true colors and you deserve more and they can stay away from you. It's very, like, confusing energetically. Left a bad taste, feeling disgusted by a person. But then, this is the real deal. They're my person. I have them up on a pedestal, right? So it's just showing how it's like your soul is confused right now. It's like your ego and your heart are at war with each other right now, and it's important to break through this layer of ego. That's what spirit wants you to focus on right now. And again, if you're focused on hearing from them or union with them, you're actually repelling it. And I know that's going to trigger people when I say that. I'm going to clean up these cards after. I just want to see Spirit's advice with that unspoken oracle. Unspoken oracle. And I feel for you, I really do, but I can, there's an ego death happening. There's a layer that's trying to shed here. Your 3D consciousness is trying to shed, is what I feel. Whereas when you elevate into that 4D, self-acceptance, whatever it was, I should memorize it. Understanding, acceptance, self-motivation, ease, accountability. You're no longer blaming. You're no longer waiting. You're no longer, oh, they left a bad taste in my mouth. You're taking accountability, right? Self-empowered, and it brings relief. So right now, again, I can feel the internal struggle. And when you break this layer, you will feel more relieved. We have the hustle trap, overworking for validation, burnout creeping in, losing joy in routine, right? That means something in your routine is out of alignment with you. It means you have to add, like, look at your routine and do things that bring joy to your life, right? Even if that's just going for like a 20-minute walk and getting outside, or working out, or doing yoga or meditation, right? Losing joy in routine, time to redefine success. But this looking outside of yourself for validation. All right, you know what? We're just gonna shuffle one out. So this is message. I'm taking that as like spirit messages of advice from spirit right now. It may show us your current energy, but I'm more so spirit. I'm more so hoping that we can guide this person through shedding this layer. Inner child healing. Mixed messages, confusing communication, inconsistent tone, words not matching actions, unclear intentions. And I hate to say it, but this is your energy right now. So I feel like that's what you endured. I'm hearing endured in this connection, right? You endured that within this connection, but it was mirroring back to you that somewhere within you there's mixed emotions, there's inconsistency, because this is the main message I'm getting for this collective, that the energy that you're putting out right now, there's a lot of mixed messages, right? Words not matching your actions. So again, I already explained the back and forth that I was feeling. We have inner child healing, right? So spirit really wants you to focus on inner child healing right now, because that's where these shadows come from. We replay some of these relational lessons, right? We replay them later on in life. We attract in the same energy so that we can heal it. So spirit wants you to reconnect with joy, to soothe old wounds, playful rediscovery, learning how to be soft again. So like really think about that inner child and how to connect with that inner child. Your soul, remember how I said your soul is wanting to be loved and held and accepted and wants attention. That's your little inner child wanting your attention. So instead of, I'm hearing commit to yourself, commit to your healing journey. We have trust the signs, synchronicities appearing, guided path, intuitive nudges, divine reassurance. But from what I'm getting, you're probably somebody who thinks signs and synchronicities, like maybe you just see signs and synchronicities and you're like, oh my gosh, I saw 222, magic. What does it mean to you, right? What do these signs and synchronicities mean to you? But again, you're so in the 3D, I don't know if you could hear your intuition. So you probably see these signs and feel like it's about your person, but it's not, it's about you. It's about you stepping up for yourself. Like if you're seeing signs and synchronicities about your masculine or this person, they're actually signs that your inner feminine needs masculine energy and you need to give that to yourself. Again, if we're in distorted energy, that's what we call in. Whereas when we balance those energies, and you need to balance them for them to thrive, we call in balanced energy, including opportunities, friends, love. We have tables are turning, so it's time to turn these tables, right? It's time to shift your energy. Because again, you've been, by chasing after this person, by waiting, by focusing on them, you're running away from self. You're running away from the work that you need to do. It's time to turn these tables. Like, instead of seeing it as a missed opportunity, accept, instead of seeing it, why did they do this to me? What is the lesson in it? And acceptance brings peace. So accepting where you are right now. Acceptance brings peace. Accepting that this is out of your hands and all you can do is focus on you, right? And again, if you're waiting for communication or waiting for this opportunity to come back around again, it's causing resistance. It's like the magnets that we talk about. The more we want something, right, we repel it. It's why I always use the boiling water, right? It's just like that. The longer we watch the water waiting for it to boil, the longer it's going to take. But when we put our focus on something else, self, that water boils before you know it. Spirit really wants you to focus on you right now and breaking through this layer. Because again, if you are struggling with judgment, rejection, loss, overwhelm, longing, you're in your ego. You're stuck in the 3D. And you cannot have union until you ascend into the 5D. One more. Divine detour. Trust in this divine detour. Delay with purpose. Rejection becomes protection. Exactly. So you need to, that lack mindset that it's something wrong with you. No. Rejection is protection. I'm being protected so that I can focus on self. And anything that rejects me, it's protection. Redirection towards alignment. This is what Spirit's trying to do, right? Spirit's trying to get you focused on self, not focused on this person. And then the deck is closed. Interesting. So that's all we're getting from that deck. We had quite a few come out. Red flag alert, right? Warning signs, mixed motives. So perhaps you are missing these red flags in yourself, right? When the ego hears red flags, it automatically points outward, right? It's their red flags. But we were ignoring the red flags because we were in an unhealed energy, right? And this is also about learning that when you start to see those red flags, right, you need to delay with purpose. It's not aligned with you. Seeing the red flags within self, like when you find yourself waiting or longing or having a lack mindset, red flag, I'm in my ego, right? I need to work on that. And if you were ignoring red flags in this connection and it came to an end, or this person ran, or divine detour, right? It was meant to put you back into alignment. unfinished business, lingering feelings, unspoken truth, right? In that middle line I was hearing, if I could just explain one more time, maybe they'll hear me. They won't. You shouldn't have to over explain, right? Emotional loose ends, still thinking about the past, you. Which again, Spirit's directing you towards self. If this truly is what you think it is and you feel like you're on this journey, right? See them as you. If you're longing for union with them, you're longing for union with yourself. If you're missing them, part of you is calling for attention, right? If you are pointing the finger and blaming, they need to heal this, they need to heal this, it's pointing back at you something within you needs to heal. And I get it. I get that energy of if I could just make them see my point of view, right? We have end seen. Acceptance brings freedom. New beginnings are coming to me in abundance, right? Every time you have a lack mentality or lack mindset, replace it with belief. We call in the energy we are putting out. So again, if we say things like, I'm never going to find love, this person will never heal, I'll never feel good enough, I'll never do this, I'll never do that, that's the energy that you're calling in. Spirit wants you to find your own closure, right? Another thing that triggers the ego. That is that 3D, I need an apology in order to forgive. No. Self-acceptance, the 4D, right? I need to look at it again. Acceptance, understanding, self-motivation, ease, accountability. Spirit's trying to point you towards this. And Spirit's saying, the sooner that you accept it's about you and you're supposed to be focusing on you and truly healing and no longer focusing on how they feel or what they're doing or what they're posting on social media, the sooner you will find that acceptance and that peace. Because again, it's your soul calling for attention. And not only that, we have soul connections on here, or soul family. And remember, we were talking about if you're in a lack mindset, you're going to be calling in other people in a lack mindset. If you're stuck in the 3D consciousness, you're attracting in people who are also stuck in that 3D consciousness. And as you evolve and you ascend into those higher levels, you start calling in your soul family, your soul tribe. And I talk about this all the time. You know, when we're in a wounded place, when we're in this wounded place, especially with this red flag, we have a hard time choosing connections, right? We have a hard time knowing our worth. And when something's not aligned with us, we have a really hard time saying, you know what, this doesn't work for me, so I'm going to choose self, right? All of this is trying to get you to a point where you choose who you let into your energy and who you don't, right? Genuine support, people who genuinely support you, people who are stuck in insecurity, violation, inadequacy, distrust, loss, overwhelm, judgment, rejection, have a very hard time motivating others because they don't have self-motivation, right? In the 4D, self-motivation. So anybody who has self-motivation and understanding and acceptance will also, that's the energy that they're giving off, right? So if you, again, why do you stick to my elbow? I just heard Phoebe, why you stick on me, baby? Genuine support, right? Anybody who's stuck in their ego has a really hard time being genuinely supportive. And I did see it in your spread that maybe you have a hard time being happy for others because of everything we talked about here. And again, when we're in a healthier energy, when we are in the 4D self-empowered mentality, we're not afraid to tell someone, you know what, your energy doesn't align with me. We don't have that fear. We know that we have a choice to overlook the red flags or not. We know we have a choice. If something isn't making us happy, we don't have to choose it. If something is making us happy, you feel a connection with a friend or a love interest, I choose that, right? I choose you. But first you have to choose self. And the connections become less about holding on, I need to hold on to that connection. It becomes more of that independence, right? I choose myself first, and I choose who I let into my energy. Feeling seen and safe. So how do you call in people who make you feel seen and safe if you don't feel seen and safe within your own energy? And again, one of the reasons I've been through like a huge ascension in the past couple weeks. I know people are saying that I've changed. Maybe I was stuck in a rut for a while, right? Maybe I was stuck in a rut for a while, but I couldn't feel seen and safe by someone, neglect wound, until I saw and felt safe with myself. I couldn't choose healthier connections until I chose myself and realized my own worth, right? Soul family, you don't have to over-explain it to soul family because they're on the same level. It also says shared healing path, right? So as we grow and ascend, as we heal, right? If we're down here with somebody and then we start growing and ascending up here, the people down here are going to fall away. We're not going to align with them anymore. We're not going to talk about the same things anymore. We're not going to have like the same negative outlooks anymore, right? I talk about this with the friend I had when I first started this journey. I used to be way down in the dark there, and we would just complain about everything and judge everybody, right? And just complain about how much we didn't have and lack mindset. And as I grew, I didn't even make it out of here. I was just evolving. I didn't align with that anymore. So as you grow, you have to understand people will fall away. You will outgrow people who aren't on the same path as you, but you will align with people who are on the same path as you. And this is in no way over explaining, but for those of you who have never felt what it feels like to find your soul family, you feel it. You feel it in your bones. It's hard to describe, but those people choose you and you choose them. And you don't have to ask them to pay attention to you. They show up for you, right? You're aligned on the same frequency. You genuinely support each other. You're both interested, or if you have multiple soul family members like I do, you're all on this healing journey, ascending, wanting to learn, wanting to change, wanting to grow. And I'm going to mention it. I'm going to mention it just so that you guys know how magical it is when you ascend, 5D, when you ascend and you connect with other ascended souls, the magic of energy. Because somebody said yesterday that Bree and I don't have to make our readings and our outcome the same, because what happens is I'll record my reading and Bree will record her reading, and even though we're picking up on different collectives, the same messages are coming out because we are a channel for source, right? When we sit down here, we're opening up crown chakra, opening up our crown chakra and being an instrument for source energy, for divine wisdom. Oh my gosh, I sound like I'm Looney Tunes today. But anyway, it's coming from source. So what happens is, because her and I are channeling source energy, divine energy. That's why sometimes the messages are the same, right? We don't sit around planning our readings like, oh, I'm going to talk about this and I'm going to channel this collective. We don't even talk about it. We live on opposite sides of the world. She's, you know, it's like a 12-hour difference, right? And that just shows for people who think like that, you truly, that's your fear, that's your ego, that's your lack of belief in energy. And again, when you align with soul family, right, you can feel it. And that's one of the most beautiful things about this journey was the people I've met along the way, the people that I've aligned with. I don't align with anybody that I used to. I don't talk to anybody that I used to. And now I have connections around me that I've always wanted, connections that choose me every day. I don't have to tell them, could you pay more attention to me? And as you ascend out of this 3D energy, right, people will fall away. But then you start attracting in people who are in a self-empowered mentality, who are on the healing journey, who know how to take accountability, who know how to motivate themselves so they don't mind motivating you, right? And then 5D, self is spirit, unity mentality. That's what I'm talking about. Unity mentality. We are one. Freedom and happiness, love and inner peace. And when you get there, freedom and happiness and love and inner peace, you call in people in the same level of consciousness. You closure achieved, right? Acceptance brings freedom. You live in the present moment. You have gratitude for everything around you. You're not stuck in the past thinking about the past. You're not fearing the future. You are living in trust. Anyway. Okay. So, that was interesting. What should you focus on? Let's get tarot. What should you focus on right now? Spiritual mastery, hermit, right? And the hermit journey, it's lonely. I saw a thing this morning again. I was down the rabbit hole this morning. And not many people ascend to that 5D level of consciousness because you usually walk the path alone. I am fortunate enough and blessed enough to have aligned with other souls on my journey. Like I see it like a staircase, right? I walked a lot of it alone and then I aligned with a few people. Some people didn't come with me and I kept going. Others came with me. Anyway, I don't know what's going on with me. I do know what's going on with me. Listen to the rain and the wind. Okay, so we have the hermit, spiritual mastery, soul searching, enlightenment, guiding light, contemplate, solitude, growth, resolve, right? And don't be again, I understand that energy of I'm fine being alone, but I do wish I could share it with someone. You can share it with someone. You can share it with your friends. You can share it with loved ones. You can share it with your animals. You can trust. I know I'm going to trigger people when I say this, but if you're still craving someone to kiss and hug, right? I understand that. But again, just remind yourself that is the part of you, it's been programmed into you that subconsciously, you may not realize this, but having that kisses and stuff, right? I don't know what's going on with me, but it is a form of like validation that you're worthy of it. Anyway, oh my gosh. All right. let's just get into your reading. So what does Spirit want you to focus on right now? What does Spirit want you to focus on right now? Page of Swords, thirst for knowledge, right? So who lacks direction? The Tower, a reckoning. Energy surge, revelation, upheaval, wiped out, destroyed, chaos, a reckoning. So the Tower, right? It's about shedding all of these things that no longer align with you, right? I'm even hearing with the Tower, things that are not aligned with you, let them fall away. Limiting beliefs, scarcity mindset, let it fall away. Anyway, find the light within. Winter solstice, find the light within. Validate your own feelings. Find the light within, the Hermit. Find your soul spark. You're looking for a light outside of you. So we have Knight of Coins, stuck in a rut. Exactly. Knight of Coins is very stuck in a rut. You could be very focused on work right now, right? Burning yourself out. Again, overworking, it's a form of validation. And it's programmed into us. Think about when we're in school. We get better marks the harder we work, the smarter we are. We get validation, 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 right? Validation from being in a connection, validation from being in a friend group, going into the workplace, working for the man. I'm seeing Jack Black's School of Rock. We're programmed to crave that validation, but that validation should be coming from within, right? I only talk to myself with love, positivity, and excitement for the future. Exactly. Words are spells. I saw a thing today. Words are spells. That's why they called it spelling. So anytime you have a negative thought about yourself or you speak negatively about yourself, you're hurting yourself, right? You're confirming those negative things about yourself. So replace them with positive things. Anyway, feeling stuck, bored, impatient, doesn't finish things, stifled, right? So right now you feel stuck in a rut, and it's making me think of the Wheel of Fortune. When the wheel gets stuck, what do we have to do to get the wheel unstuck? We have to make changes. So what have you been putting off? What have you been procrastinating? Where are you stuck in a rut? Are you spending too much time focused on work, right? Wanting that validation. Are you too focused on outside validation? Find the light within. Thirst for knowledge, Page of Swords. Education, educating yourself on some of this stuff, right? Mental agility, curious ideas, vigilant, guarded, communicative, thinks first. Education, fairness. But I'm seeing this, like it says, thirst for knowledge, right? So Spirit wants you to learn about some of these things, right? Just like I talked about going down a rabbit hole. At the start of my journey, I really thought, I'm the exception. I don't have to do that. I can will it to happen. No. So what do you need to learn about, right? Maybe learning about healing, childhood wounds, attachment styles, lack mindset, right? We have information at our fingertips everywhere. There's books, there's creators online, there's YouTube videos, like the knowledge is everywhere. And stop watching them. Page of Swords, stop watching them and learn the lessons. Because again, I feel like watching them and focusing on them, again, when people say, it brought me peace, it didn't bring you inner peace. It was feeding your distorted masculine energy validation. It's time to find the light within. It's time to find your direction. It's time to look at things you've been putting off, things you've been procrastinating, perhaps mission, purpose, right? Especially if your job, you feel like you're stuck in a rut, feels like it's not aligned with you, feels like same shit, different day. It means you've outgrown it. It means it's not aligned with your inner light. But how can you find out what your purpose is if you don't have that inner light, right? This will make sense to the right person, I'm hearing. We have Queen of Wands, stepping into your power, stepping into your confidence, right? Glow up energy. What does glowing up come from? Glow up does not come from watching this person. Glow up does not come from being stuck in that 3D mindset, stuck in your ego. A glow up comes from within, from finding the light within. Queen of Wands, right? Tapping into your creativity, tapping into your confidence, connecting with spirit, healing the inner child. That's where, when you see people glowing and you see you're glowing, it's not because they've done something different with their hair. It's coming from inside. Internal glow. Spirit really wants you to find your glow. To find you, right? You're looking, waiting for this person. Spirit's saying, it's yourself, your soul is waiting for you to return home to it, is wanting attention from you. What can you focus on? Advice for you? Advice for you? We have death. It's time to transform. It's time to shed that layer. And we have Three of Cups. So Spirit wants you to focus on, instead of focusing on a connection with another person, a romantic connection, Spirit wants you to focus on celebrating the things you do have in your life, right? Three of Cups. So Spirit wants you to focus on your hobbies, on things that fulfill you, on people you feel aligned with. And again, if you're surrounded by negative people, the crab bucket, you may have to detach from them. There might need to be external change, right? We have death, which says external change when it comes to some of the things that you're doing, right? Like maybe some of the things that you do in this downtime, right? Bored with life, don't actually fulfill you, right? Spirit wants you to focus on things that fulfill you, on the good times, on friendship, on your hobbies. And the Three of Cups talks about focusing on a hobby that becomes more important to you than your profession, right? And then you can turn that into a mission. But external change. So what needs to change in your external world? And what needs to change in your internal world? Because I said it in a reading the other day. Our inner world, what's going on in our inner world is projected into our outer world, right? So if inside we're a mess and we're disorganized and it's chaos, what's going to be reflected out of us, right? What are we going to be calling in? That type of energy. So Spirit wants you to focus what needs to change externally, possibly with social gatherings, drinking, partying too much maybe. Maybe there's friends that are keeping you stuck, right? Focus on what needs to change in your external world, but also internal world. Clear and purge internally, transform, emerging, breaking through that layer of the 3D, the ego. Rebirth, regenerate. And anybody, and this is, again, these are all realizations that I'm having through my awakening. Anybody who is, oh, they're just this, they're just that, they're just a narcissist. Anybody who's blaming and projecting and judging, right? You're stuck in 3D consciousness. And the whole point of ascension is to ascend, right? out of that 3D consciousness. Right? There's a lot of people saying, I'm ascended, I'm like, but they're not. They're still stuck in that ego. Anyway. Total, let it go, right? Whatever wants to end right now, let it end and let it go. Bree said it perfectly. If it's out of your hands, get it out of your mind, right? And even your heart. What negative emotional patterns do you keep repeating, right? Is it lack of self-worth? Is it lack of mentality? Is it anxious attachment styles? Like, what negative emotional patterns do you keep repeating? Because again, when we are stuck and repeating negative emotional patterns, what usually happens is that we project outside and we say they're stuck in a negative pattern, right? And again, it's time to break through this layer. Two more cards of advice for you. What should you be focusing on? Shifting consciousness. Yeah! That was magic, Spirit. Thank you for that magical moment. That was magic. Shifting consciousness, which is exactly what I started this reading talking about. Waxing moon. So I'm just going to read all of these. Reevaluate your plans, seeing things from a different perspective, having patience, shifting your consciousness. You need to get out of this 3D consciousness, right? If you truly do have these gifts and you're truly on this journey and you're truly a spiritual being, you're not meant to stay stuck in that 3D consciousness. In that it's called victim consciousness. And it's programmed into us. Themes of wounding, right? We're stuck in wounding when we're down there. So it's about shifting your consciousness. So again, that thing that I showed you, right? And if you feel called, I read this entire book. I am at peace with where I am. Exactly. Spirit wants you to shift your perspective that you're exactly where you need to be right now and you're at peace right now because at least you're safe, right? Because you can protect yourself right now. When we're in the theme of wounding, again, we find ourselves in situations that are not healthy because on a subconscious level, we don't believe we deserve better. It's why we stay, right? And usually it's, again, maybe look at how your parents were, right? Like, being brutally honest, I come from a family where people stay stuck because they don't feel they deserve more. And that's not a way to live your life. That's one of the cycles I'm breaking. But anyway, I read, in Soul Tribe readings, I read this entire book. And I actually really enjoyed this book. There were some things, I was like, I don't know about that. But it's called The Inner Work. An invitation to true freedom and lasting happiness. In my playlist, in my Soul Tribe readings, I read the entire thing with my Soul Tribe. It's time to shift your consciousness. And honestly, that begins by letting go of this person. Like, whoever they are to you, whatever label you have on them, it's time to focus on self. And I believe that we can ascend faster. I believe that by doing this, people won't stay stuck for 20 plus years on this journey, right? Or 5 years, or hopefully not even 3 years. All right, I wanted to get you, I felt really called to this, the Sacred Traveler. I felt really called to this for you. Trust there's a divine plan, confirmed by Mr. Crow. Trust that there's a divine plan. All right. So what do you need to hear from this deck? Advice for you. Grounding. Go deep. Explore your roots. It's time to ground. And we have taking shelter. The answers are within. I just opened right up to it. Magic. Thank you, Spirit. And I'm telling you, every time something magical happens and you show gratitude for the magic, your life just gets more magical. I'm telling you, gratitude, right? Like, how magic? It's on page 63. Time to ground yourself in what is truly essential. Remember what's important in life and let go of everything else. Exactly. I'm just showing you the image. Let go of the busyness and the frenetic pace of life. Be present in the moment. Release the flurry of worry about the future or the rehashing of the past. Didn't I say that? This is a time to engage and reflect. It might be worth taking a second look at something you previously passed over, right? What have you, that Knight of Coins, is there a project that you abandoned? Is there something you haven't finished? Is there something that you've overlooked? Something about this journey that you've overlooked? Things may not always be as they seem. Look deeper into the situations in your life. Explore exactly, but that's not about looking into them deeper. It's about looking within and reflecting. What is this trying to teach me? Explore your roots. Something that seems close may in fact explore your roots. Something that may be closed may in fact just be ready to open. If you go beneath the surface, you may find hidden gems of truth, light, and abundance, right? So what I'm hearing is you could be about to, like, I'm seeing somebody being birthed, right? Like I'm seeing, you know, in the Matrix, anyway, I was watching it with my kids and I was like describing all the spiritual symbolism I saw in it. And I was like, he's going through a rebirth. He's being reborn. He's breaking through a layer. So you could be just about to break through this layer, right? Sometimes it gets really messy just before we have a breakthrough. The edge of evolution is messy. I'm seeing that card. So you could be closer to breaking through that 3D consciousness than you know. Sometimes a voyage is fraught with the activity of so many places to go and things to do that personal energy gets scattered. It's during those times that the sacred traveler needs to ground their energy. Grounding can be simply a matter of leaning against a tree. Go hug a tree. Like, I'm not even joking. Go hug a tree. Who cares what anybody thinks? Who really cares? You don't need their validation. Their judgment doesn't matter. Worrying about their judgment, that's your ego. That's 3D consciousness. Go hug a tree. I'm hearing like, let's go fly a kite. Let's go hug a tree. Anyway. So grounding can simply be a matter of leaning. You can even lean if you're worried about what other people think. But eventually you have to break through caring about what other people think of you, right? You don't need their validation. And imagine yourself reaching into the roots and up to the branches. This card can also mean that you need to learn how to stand up for yourself when you see those red flags. And you know what? It pisses me off when people say, you shouldn't stand up for yourself, or like, that's programming, right? From a very young age. You are to be seen and not heard. When you're in school, you're not allowed to talk. Right? I'm going to give you a warning because you're talking too much. Especially if you are a magical spiritual soul, right? People who are neurodivergent, right, can be very chatty in school, very chatty, unable to focus, hyperactive, always moving. Anyway, you go into a job, right? And it's like the boss is like, we have to look up to the boss, and what the boss what they say is, you know, I don't know how to describe that in words. But like, we follow the rules of the boss, right? Be seen, not heard. But we have every right to be heard. But it's programmed into us that if, like, it's like if somebody's, to me, if somebody's mistreating you, you have every right to be assertive, masculine energy, but with compassion. So not reacting from that wounded place, not name calling, not blaming, but asserting your voice, right? Anyway. Stand up for those who can't protect themselves. Believe in yourself. Hold firm to what you know to be true. You are like the ancient oak, with its roots deep in the earth. You are noble, valiant, and strong. All right, let's shuffle you a card out for advice. Advice for you, my friend. Wondrous universe. Walk in beauty. Wondrous universe. You live in a beautiful and wondrous universe. You are a beautiful being. Take time to see and cherish the wonders of life wherever you go. It transforms your life. Exactly. And again, we're programmed not to see it. We're programmed to be so focused on stuff outside of ourselves, right? On another person, on getting to work. Like the people who almost get into car accidents because they're in a rush to get to work. Like nothing's that important. Especially not work. But there's beauty everywhere, right? There's beauty everywhere. Everywhere. I just have to look out my window. I just have to look at my kids. I just look at the mirror. There's beauty everywhere. You're beautiful. Anyway, I don't know what's happening. I do know what's happening. I'm channeling. There is remarkable beauty within you. What I just said. Simply acknowledging it allows it to surface even more. The time you take to create beauty in your home will manifest in your life. In Native traditions, walking in beauty means to honor all the natural cycles of life, like endings, growth, change, evolving, ascending, anyway. And to experience a sacred communion with the Creator in all things, including oneself. There's always beauty around you and within you. The sacred traveler constantly looks for and embraces the majestic, wondrous universe in all forms. You can hear it in the song of a bird. Yes. Do you know what? Every night, every single night, at dusk, is it dusk? At dusk, I go and I sit outside and I listen to the birds go to sleep. It's like I do it every night. Last night, my day was all messed up. And when I went outside to listen to them, they had already gone to sleep. And it made me sad. But there's literally beauty everywhere. We've just been programmed to be like in the 3D, right? We've all got blinders on. Anyway. Where was I? You can smell it in the aroma of freshly baking bread. You can see it in the way the clouds float across the sky. The more you seek beauty, the more it will find you, the more you will see. Right? Like a baby. Have you ever seen, like, I don't know what age it is. It might be like 4 months when they start to be able to see things. Because yes, I know babies can see, like, newborns can see, like, contrast. But when they start to see the way they look at everything with such amazement, that's what it feels like when you break through that layer. You're like a baby looking at the world in a completely different way. I still have this beautiful memory of when one of my kids started to be able to see things and they were laying on the floor. And it reminded me of, if you've ever seen Look Who's Talking, they were laying on the floor. I have a video of them and they're laying on their back because they were still babies. And they had their arm above them like this. And they were just like, they had just discovered that they had hands, right? And they were just like, oh my well, they couldn't speak, but just the wonder in their little eyes. It's take off the rose-colored glasses, take off the 3D glasses, put on the magic glasses. Anyway, let's get another one. One more from this deck. Finding sanctuary, opening to your spiritual source. Protected by angels, trust. Finding sanctuary, I just said that. Look, we have a tower and I mentioned Rapunzel. But it's also making me think of like ascending, consciousness. Finding sanctuary. Rest, rejuvenate, tune into your inner spiritual source. It's a time of retreat and inner sanctuary. It's in times of retreat and inner sanctuary that you can truly hear the voice of your soul, right? And you had all those cards about having like Claire, all of those cards we pulled. But when you're obsessing over someone or grieving or feeling angry with life or being hard on yourself or in an unhealthy dynamic, how can you hear it? You can't hear it. Go within and find your inner refuge. Be a safe haven for yourself. Step forward with grace, deliberation, and thoughtfulness. Take moments for reflection. Profound healing of physical and emotional wounds can occur in the stillness of sanctuary. Exactly. Difficult situations can be averted by taking time to go within. Sometimes the voyager's travel becomes weary. That's how, when I first hit record, that's how I was feeling. This journey is beautiful, but if you don't break through the 3D, it's kind of like you're not going anywhere. You're not getting the perks of the journey, right? The pack becomes heavy and the journey becomes lackluster. It's in these moments that the traveler needs to step off the path and find a temple or sanctuary to reassess and renew, and to remember what is truly important in life. This gives perspectives and new life strategies. Create a place of beauty in your home or in nature that feels sacred and holy, and spend your time there. This is my space. I should show you guys my space once I get my new shelf put up. I've been putting it off. I need to work on that. Carefully listening to your inner voice. If you've been pushing too hard or struggling to keep going, this is the time to be still and nurture your internal world. Listen to the voice of spirit. All right. I kind of want to see. I'm going to get you one card out of this deck. Just one. I never use this deck, but I pulled it. I am enough. I think that's the one you need. It's so funny. I got all my tattoos before I spiritually awakened, and now I see how my higher self was guiding me with my tattoos. I have I am enough tattooed on my wrist because I had such a negative mindset growing up. I was like programmed to feel like I didn't try enough, I wasn't good enough. There was something wrong with me because I was neurodivergent. So I got it tattooed on my wrist so that I could like have a visual reminder. Whenever I was feeling not good enough, I would look at my wrist. Magic. I'm going to shuffle one out for you. What does this collective need to hear? Okay. Okay. I never use this deck, right? Because my readings are changing, I'm going to start using all these different decks I have. So we have I am enough, 11:11, let go of expectations. So the next time you see 11:11, tell yourself you're enough. We have healing abandonment, time to forgive. I'm going to read them all. We have healing separation, go within. And we have acknowledge, taking responsibility. So some of these things are connected to the 4D that I was talking about. That's why I want to read them. So 7-7, healing separation. I got to look these up because they have similar. You have 11-11-11 7-7-7-7. Not about your person. Acknowledge. So this deck, I'm going to start using it. Powerful life lessons that will expedite your ascension process, and that's exactly what we're talking about, right? You have the very first card in the very first suit, like the very first card on page 26. Taking responsibility for your actions gives you the momentum to create your own reality. Taking responsibility for, again, the ego mind, when we talk about in readings taking responsibility, a lot of people hear, well, they need to take responsibility, right? But we need to take responsibility for the things that we did. We need to take responsibility for the choices that we've made to stay in these situations, right? Taking responsibilities for your actions gives you the momentum to create your own reality. When you come to terms with what no longer works in your life, and you realize that your current status is an accumulation of previous choices, you will recognize how inner feelings impact your life. The first step towards owning your truth is to acknowledge that you carry the power within you to make positive life decisions that align with your heart's desire. This card implies that you are the key holder of your destiny, and no one except you can unlock your potential. If you are unhappy with yourself, your life, your relationships, or even your career, only you can take the necessary actions that will shift the situation, making you the alchemist of your reality. You are being called to rise above limitations, self-limiting beliefs, lack mentality, that have caused you to focus on what is outside of yourself, which creates separation between you and all that is. That's magic. Making this conscious connection with your inner soul flame, your light, remember, will set your soul on fire and light your path, resulting in a brighter future. So the more we focus on things outside of ourselves, including readings about them, it creates more of a separation. Again, you feel like it's bringing you comfort, but it's just feeding your ego. It's feeding your distorted energy. All right, let's do the other ones. I'm glad I grabbed this deck. So we have what? What color is this? Not aqua. What color is this? It must be slate. Heal abandonment, 34, 34, 3-4, feminine, masculine energy, you. Time to forgive. You have experienced abandonment in multiple lifetimes. Wounded stories are subconsciously causing you intense soul pain that makes you easily triggered when you experience rejection or unrequited love. This card implies that you need to heal traumatic experiences and the influence of unhealthy relationships. You have been abandoning your own needs, which is not the same as loving yourself. You will move beyond the fear of abandonment when you realize that you caused yourself this pain because you're separated from yourself. It is time to forgive yourself for not standing up, showing up, or speaking up for your needs to be heard, loved, or respected by others. You were taught that to experience love, you must earn the love you seek. This produces the need for approval and creates feelings of rejection and feeling left out or left behind, causing you to justify your actions. Letting go of your old identity is painful because you experience the death of your former self and patterns. Yet it is necessary for you to create space for your new identity. And listen, you got 3 cards about expediting the ascension process. And that's what this whole reading has been about, is about ascending out of 3D themes of wounding victim mentality, right? Or anyway, belief. Anyway. And letting go of expectations, which is 1111. I am enough. I am enough. 39. Empress. Hermit. 39. There is power in shifting from not feeling good enough to declaring I am enough. When you claim ownership of your worth, say it now. Say it now. I am enough. Say it out loud. I am enough. That's actually something in this deck, the masculine twin card. That's like divine masculine energy, knowing your worth. I am enough. Anyway, when you claim ownership of your worth, it gives you permission to let go of expectations and be yourself. Exactly. Who cares what anybody else says? As long as you are being your authentic self and you know you are enough. If you focus on fulfilling your own needs, it releases the conditions that you once placed on others, right? So we subconsciously expect others to give us what we need. I need more love. I need attention. I need to feel seen. I need to feel loved. When we embody and give that to ourselves, what we call in is someone, because we're energetically calling it in. That's the vibration that we're at. That's the level of consciousness that we're at. We call in, because we see ourselves and value ourselves, we call in people who see us and value us. If we prioritize ourselves, they prioritize us. Like, anyway, where was I? It releases the conditions that you once placed on others, creating empowerment and the freedom to be your true self. This card indicates that others have placed expectations on you, causing you to strive for overachievement. Focusing on your progress prevents you from constantly seeking an end result that sets you up for further failure or decreases your value. The key to feeling good enough is to develop self-acceptance, cultivate self-awareness, create self-confidence, and build self-esteem to help your soul grow and expand in the process. You were born to be extraordinary. Just like the life cycle of a butterfly. And I have to say something, because I see lessons and I reflect. Anybody that, right, leaves a comment, I reflect about it. And I'm not, please don't tell me, don't focus on the negative comments. I'm not. But somebody said to me yesterday, and this is what I mean, I reflect what is being reflected back to me. I reflect about some of these comments, because some of your comments teach me things about myself, right? But somebody said, you're starting to sound and act just like Brie. And that's not it. What's happening is that I'm starting to not mask who I know I'm always authentic, but I'm truly starting to be like myself. And guess what? That is me. That is me. It's not that I am morphing into somebody else. It's that I've attracted in someone, soul family, who is a reflection of me, right? And that connection has given me, it's shifted something in me, right? Anyway. just like the life cycle of a butterfly, you are going through extreme change. It is transforming you into something different. Like I'm going through my own transformation here, right? Different part of the journey, but still a transformation. Don't fight the process. Look within and see the true beauty that lies there and praise yourself for your accomplishments, helping you confidently say, I am enough, capital letters. I am enough. You are enough. Healing separation. So all of those cards, I'm going to use this deck again. All of those cards, powerful life lessons that will expedite your ascension process instead of keeping you stuck and longing for someone, right? Healing separation. Oh, where are we? When I first tapped into the energy of this collective, I almost just went like, F it, I'm just going to go take a nap. Like that's what it felt like. 34. And it's okay to take a nap. It's okay to take a nap. You're allowed to rest, right? If you're overworking, if you're seeking validation, overworking, burning yourself out, you need to rest. You need rest, especially if you are transforming. Last card, and then I'll be out of here. Healing separation, go within. Fear of being alone is surfacing to help you heal abandonment wounds from multiple lifetimes. Feelings of rejection and not being good enough are not part of your current story. The goal of this journey is to teach you that nothing is separate from you. Physical separation of anything or anyone is an illusion. You will find what you desire when you look within. Oh my gosh, will you ever? I accept the abundance the universe gives me. Affirmation. This card serves as a reminder of your ability to tune into your greatest potential. Your soul is aligning with your heart's desires. This is where you discover your highest good, which includes perfect partners or friends. If you are experiencing silence from someone, use this as an opportunity to reconnect to a deeper version of yourself. Whether you sense their presence or not, you are always on this journey, soul bound. If you're on this journey, soul bound to that person. And you will find them within yourself. Detach from the idea that you cannot experience love without them. Find forgiveness for the pain they have caused you and trust that the process will lead you to true love for your authentic self. And again, without going through this process, you're not going to call union in. Because union is truly about you. This journey is about you. Anyway. So my friends, I'm going to leave it there. I know that was triggering. I could feel it. But I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm trying to help you. Now I'm seeing Jerry Maguire again. Help me help you. Anyway, but like the Matrix, right? I can show you to the door. I can show you the door and how to open the door, but it's you that needs to walk through it, right? So anyway, I hope whoever this reading was for, it helped you. And I'm trying to empower you. Anyway, I'm sending you guys lots of love and light, and I will talk to you soon.